Hello, I'm Kurt Liedtke with the Herald and News. It's Friday, February 1st, 2019. Here's a rundown on some of the top stories affecting the Klamath Basin. It's the Klamath Countdown. Oregon water regulators may scale back the number of wells subject to pumping shutdowns in the upper Klamath Basin, but some irrigators remain uneasy about the proposal. Under existing rules, groundwater irrigators within 1 mile of surface waters can be regulated off by senior water users who claim the wells are affecting their water rights. The Oregon Water Resources Department is now considering a change to the rules, which would limit regulation to wells within 500 feet of surface waters in the basin, effectively reducing the number of wells subject to shutdowns from 140 to 7. The agency expects to finalize the interim rules in mid-April until more permanent regulations are enacted in 2021. Several irrigators in the upper Klamath Basin have filed lawsuits challenging the OWRD's shutdown of their wells in recent years, alleging the agency didn't have adequate proof that groundwater pumping was reducing flows in waterways. Crater Lake National Park reopened Monday to visitors after the partial government shutdown ended over the weekend. About 50 employees who staffed the park in the winter returned to work. They will get back pay for the 5 weeks the government was closed, which forced the closure in the Klamath region of Crater Lake, as well as Lava Beds National Monument in Northern California. During the closure, there were a few employees, such as park rangers and maintenance staff, who stayed on to patrol and to keep the main access road plowed up to the park headquarters. During the closure, visitors had to cross-country ski or snowshoe if they wanted to get to the rim. There were complaints at many of the national parks that due to the shutdown, garbage cans and dumpsters were overflowing and visitors were leaving behind human waste on the trails. Klamath County Public Health is closely monitoring the measles outbreak in Clark County, Washington, and officials urge local residents to check their immunization status. 2 new locations in Bend have been identified where people may have been exposed to the measles, according to a Wednesday public health update. The Clark County Department also cites that 34 of the 38 cases of measles occurred in individuals ages 1 to 29 who had not been immunized, while the remaining 4 cases had not yet been verified for immunization. Even diseases that seem mild, like chickenpox or influenza, can be deadly for some. During the 2009-2010 flu season, 1,316 people in Oregon were reported hospitalized for influenza and 67 died. And before the varicella vaccine, about 100 people in the U.S. died from chickenpox every year, about half of them children. Vaccines are far safer than contracting the disease. For some, all it takes is a lost job, struggles with a medical condition, or other unlucky circumstances to wind up homeless. At least 140 people stopped by Thrive Church on Wednesday for survival kits, meals, and medical care from several local groups and volunteers during the annual Point in Time Homeless Count. Klamath and Lake Community Action Services host the annual winter giveaway event in Klamath Falls while also reaching out to more remote areas, coinciding with the annual Point in Time Count, which calculates the current homeless populations in an area and largely determines funding for areas to address the issue. At least 268 people in Klamath and Lake counties were counted as struggling with homelessness last year during the Point in Time counts, part of a statewide effort. There's a lot happening this weekend around the Klamath Basin. Here are just a few options for you. The 59th annual Klamath Bull and Horse Sale takes place all weekend at the Klamath County Fairgrounds. Much more than just a livestock sale, activities include a ranch rodeo, barrel racing, stock dog competition, kids rodeo contests, and more. MASH has its final performances at the Linkville Playhouse Friday and Saturday evenings at 7:30 p.m. The Klamath Basin Senior Center will host its Bow Ties and Pearls event fundraiser Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Klamath County Fairgrounds. The event includes dinner, live music, and auctions. Saturday is the Ice Stravaganza at the Collier Community Ice Arena at 7 p.m. The annual figure skating show features professional and amateur skaters. Tickets start at $11. Saturday evening, the Ross Ragland hosts Grand Illusion. They're a Styx tribute band. Come remember some of the most classic songs of the 1970s and early 80s with the sounds of Styx at 7:30 p.m. And also Saturday, Klamath Folk Society will host a mood swing reunion from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Veterans of Foreign Wars building. As always, for a full rundown of upcoming events, check out Thursday's Limelighter section. So until next week, for these stories and so much more, be sure to pick up your daily copy of the Herald and News or visit us online at heraldandnews.com.